Hi, I'm Carmelita Maldonado, the writer and director for Happy Tuesday. My first question comes from Andrew Cervantes. I really love how you had Christina kind of blurt out the fact that she was molested. Why do you feel people sometimes purge these secrets at seemingly random times? I am not a psychologist and I'm not an expert, but from some research I've done and from my own experience as a survivor and from speaking with other survivors, um, I believe that the reason sometimes these secrets are purged at random times, there's so many reasons, right? But a lot of times we are molested when we are children, and you are threatened, your family's threatened in some way, your parents, your siblings, somebody close to you, even your best friends could be threatened, right? So you're threatened, you're filled with fear, with shame, with confusion. But I think one of the main things will come with there's always a threat. There's always some sort of threat. If when in speaking to people, you'll start connecting that dot where there is some sort of threat as to why you don't reveal it right away. And it's not until you get older, as years go by, decades go by, that you start making sense of things, and where you realize that your perpetrators are not gonna do they're not gonna hurt the family members that the way they said that they were, right? So I think that's one of the biggest reasons. Um, but and then there could be so many, and everything is gonna vary from person to person. But like I said, there's also shame. You know, a lot of people block it out. It can be completely blocked out for many, many years. And I know that because that was part of my experience. Um, I didn't remember till I was in my 20s. And it just came back. It came like a crashing, like something, bam, like, and the memory came back. And so again, you can bury it, and you can, and a lot of people do. A lot of people, the memory it's completely, they block it out, and you you will completely block it out, and that happens to a lot of people. Like I said, it happened to me. So I think that's why it's very random. And then also you have to feel safe, and you have to feel you're with a person that you can trust. You also want to be around someone that you don't feel is going to judge you. So it's a very tender situation, and it's like it's gonna vary from person to person how it's handled. Uh, and people, different people go through different levels of abuse, right? There's it runs a large gamut. But to answer the question, those are parts of the reasons why it's these things are purged out at random times. The next question is from Claudia Duran, and her question is: due to the pandemic, what adjustments and decisions did you have to make regarding your script for the 2021 season? I wrote this in 2020. We were already in quarantine, we were already in the pandemic. And, but my main adjustment was that I wrote it to be staged as if it was in a backyard. And we still had an opportunity, even though we're not able to get together and the theaters are closed down. We had an opportunity where you could still stage it at the theater, and it could, it could be filmed there. So I wanted, and I was leaning towards that at first because I didn't want to do it over Zoom. But that was the major adjustment and decision, was making the decision not to stage it, and not to have the actors gathered together. And that was for safety issues. Just because we know how the pandemic has been going, and I did not want to put my actors in jeopardy or myself. And so I decided that we were going to do the play via Zoom, and that's what we ended up doing. So it was some minor tweaks to make it now take place over Zoom. The next question comes from Mercy Floresisla, and she asks, "What inspired you?" So, what inspired me was I had a conversation over the summer with someone very dear to me, and I found out that they were a survivor as well. So, that was the initial inspiration for this. And uh, yeah, so that's what inspired me. And also, another thing along with that inspired me was wanting little girls and mujeres of all ages, little girls and mujeres, and men as well, right? Because men get molested as well. But that to speak up, I was very inspired to write this to hopefully, you know, someone that sees this will be their perfect random moment to speak up, to tell someone. And yeah, so that's what inspired me. So this is for all the little girls, all the mujeres, all the men that have been molested, that this is your time to speak up. This is your moment to stop carrying all these burdens with your silence. Thank you.